Hey everybody, Gary here with Guitar Tricks, and in this video I want to share with you how you could use the circle of fifths to memorize all of the chords in any key, or just what chords will definitely sound great together because they happen to be all in the same key. So when I first learned about the circle of fifths for many years, I didn't realize that this was one way to use it as a reference chart. So it's not the most obvious thing. So that's why I want to point it out to you. Before we get into the lesson, please go ahead and click subscribe so that you get all of the latest and greatest content from Guitar Tricks. And if you want to be notified of any new lesson, be sure to also tap that bell and let us know in the comments what you'd like to see in future lessons. That's where we're always looking for ideas. All right, let's get into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the circle of fifths and let's just start with the key of C, right? So the key of C is at the top of the circle of fifths. When we're in the key of C, we have 7 chords, just like we have 7 notes. There's 7 notes in the key of C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then we have 7 chords, C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, and then C. So for every one of those notes, we could build a chord. And in any major key, the 1, 4, and 5 chord are major. So in the key of C, C is 1, C, D, E, F, that's 4, and then G is 5. Now, if you'll notice, to the left of C on the circle of fifths is the 4 chord, because that's going a fourth, so that's F. So C to F, and then the 5 chord is just to the right, circle of fifths, so up a fifth is G. So the 1, 4, and 5 is C, F, G. Right? We could just start with that little piece of information to play 1, 4, 5 in every key, right? So in the key of C, it's C, F, G. Right? So I'm just playing C, F, and G, right? 1, 4, 5 in the key of C. Let's go to the next notch on the circle of fifths, which is G. In the key of G, the 1 chord is G. The 4 chord is C, which you could see is right to the left of G, and the 5 chord is D. So now 1, 4, 5, same chord progression I played. I'm just playing G, C, and D, so that's 1, 4, 5 in the key of G. Just going one more, just so you could see the pattern. Let's just go one more notch. So after G is D, up a fifth from G is D. When we're in the key of D, the 4 chord is G, right? When we go to the left, we're going down a fourth, and then when we go up a fifth, that's A. So the 5 chord is A. So I'll play that chord progression I played earlier again, which was 1, 4, 5, 4, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Sweet. Okay, so now we understand at least how to find the 1, 4, and 5. Now, the great thing is we could also find the 3 minor chords in any key. So any one key, we have 3 majors, 3 minors. Let's go back to the key of C. So we're in the key of C. We know we have C, F, and G. Now, right below the C is our relative minor chord, or our 6 chord. So in any key, the 6 chord is a special chord because that 6 chord is the tonic chord of our relative minor key. That's why every circle of fifths usually shows the relative minor. So in other words, the key of C has the same chords and the same key signature as the key of A minor. And in the key of C, our 6 chord is A minor. So let's say I just wanted to play the most classic pop progression, 1, 5, 6, 4. Well, 1 is C, 5 is G, 4 is F, and 6 now is A minor. So if I do 1, 5, 6, 4, that's C, G, A minor, F. Right? 1, 5, 6, 4. Okay. Now, if we look at the relative minor chord of G, that happens to be E minor. And then if we look at the relative minor of F, that is D minor. Now, in the key of C, D minor is our 2 chord. In any major key, the 2, 3, and 6 chords are minor. So in the key of C, we go below and to the left for our 2 chord, D minor. We go below and to the right for our 3 chord, E minor. And then we go directly below for our 6 chord, which is A minor. So now we have the 6 major and minor chords. The only one that's missing is our diminished chord, but that's easy to find. The way to know what the diminished chord is you just go down a half step from whatever your tonic is. So if we're in the key of C, go down a half step from C, B diminished, because the diminished chord is the last chord. So if we're in the key of C, B diminished. If we're in the key of G, F sharp diminished. If we're in the key of D, C sharp diminished, right? But usually we don't play the diminished chord by itself. We usually embed it into the 5 chord. So in other words, if you're in the key of C, when you play the chord G7, you're really playing both a G major and a B diminished combined because it's a 7th chord, so it's 2 triads combined. But that's a little too much theory for this lesson. Right now, just know that you could find your 3 majors and your 3 minors in any key, and if you want to know your diminished chord, just go down a half step from whatever that tonic is, right? So in the key of C, as we could see, we have C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor. And then if I want the diminished, I'm going to go down a half step, B diminished, back to C. Awesome. Let's see that one more time. Go into the key of G. So we go to the key of G. We've got G. Right below and to the left is the A minor, which is our 2 chord. Right below and to the right is the B minor, which is our 3 chord. Then our 4 chord is directly to the left, which is C. Our 5 chord is directly to the right, which is D. And then our 6 chord is directly below, which is E minor. And then we could play F sharp diminished, which is just going down a half step from the tonic, and then back to G. All right, so this is a great way to memorize all the keys. Now, we just did it with the simple keys, but where it becomes especially useful is in keys you might not be used to playing in, where there's lots of sharp chords and flat chords, right? So hopefully this gave you a new way to use the circle of fifths as a reference tool and to understand which chords are going to go well together in a key, because they're all in the same key, which means they're definitely going to go well together. That doesn't mean that you have to constrict yourself to just the chords in the key. Feel free to use your ear to experiment with chords that might be outside that you just think sounds good. If you think it sounds good, that's all that matters when you're playing around with music, and hopefully other people agree with you. All right, everybody, I hope that was helpful. If you want to see more lessons like this, go to guitartricks.com, where we have sequential courses, a library of song lessons with downloadable tab, jam tracks, and all sorts of other great stuff. Happy playing, and I'll see you in the next lesson.